Adam Chris for MyMMANews.com, being joined by Ty Miller, who is set to take on Justin Dorsey in his pro debut. It's going down February 12th at Fight World 21 in the illustrious and historic Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. First and foremost, I got to thank my guests for joining me. Ty, how's it going, brother?
Good, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure, man. So I will be announcing that night. So I will get the front row, the best seat in the house to get to witness the action. So I
Hey, yeah, man.
appreciate I appreciate you taking the time. But let's get into it. So you're on a tear right now. I mean, going into your pro debut, your amateur, your 3-fight winning streak in MMA. But before we got talking, you were telling me that you do other combat sports as well. So before we get into
Yeah,
MMA, let's just talk about your combat sports plethora of experience.
yeah. Before my MMA fights, my striking coach Arlene would have me do like boxing smokers, kickboxing smokers, and then she had me sign up for USAB to get some like really good competition in. Because normally people that compete in there, they're pretty good boxers.
Hmm.
And yeah, so in USAB, I won the Golden Gloves twice, and then yeah, I've had about my record is about like 6-2, and then kickboxing's 2-0, and then MMA 3-1.
Wow. So you are quite an animal, but I'll tell you what, it's one of those things where don't let looks fool you because, judging, a book by its cover, nobody would think that you are quite the vicious animal that,
My coach tells me I still look like I'm 15.
So, oh man. So we got to come up with do we have a nickname going on here? Like the pretty boy or the silent assassin or anything cool?
And Thriller Miller. Ty Thriller Miller.
Thriller Miller, man, I love it. So again, you're on quite the tear. Got a lot of momentum in your way, man. So this is our first time getting to chat. So what got you into combat sports in general?
I would watch these pay-per-view fights whenever I was younger, and I was always kind of like scared to do it, but it was something like I knew I wanted to do. And in high school, like I played football for a little bit, and I wasn't very good at it, and I didn't really have much passion into it either. So I wanted to try out wrestling, and I started wrestling my sophomore, junior, senior year, and then afterwards, I was like, man, after this, I want to start competing in MMA because I always in love like watching the MMA fights, the UFC fights, Bellator, ONE FC. So I want to start competing, and then since then, like I put so many hours in the gym, honestly, and I really feel like I can compete in the UFC.
Yeah. So you said you weren't that great at football getting into it. Did you find your
Nah, not at all,
niche?
man.
Did you find your niche like when you got on the wrestling mat of like, wow, this is something I want to get into. This is something it like clicks for me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was really hard. It was tough, but as I started getting into shape, I was really having fun with it, and
Yeah.
I was getting better and better at it. And yeah, it was something I really liked.
So how far did you take wrestling? Did you take it post high school or did you get straight into MMA after that?
No, I just I did it in high school just because I wanted to build like a little base, like a stepping stone into going into MMA with something instead of
Hmm.
like not going into MMA with anything.
Right. So your opponent, he's looking to bounce back from his debut loss. Do you
Right.
anticipate him looking for a sense of maybe redemption or maybe a desperate man, or do you not even think about that kind of stuff?
I don't really think about that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm sure he's gonna. It sucks losing, and you want to get back in the win column like right away. So of course he wants it bad, but you know, I probably want it more than him, honestly. And I'm looking to prove that on my debut.
In the world of technology that we live in, obviously, I'm sure you can find so much on your opponent, whether it be training videos, previous fights. Do you let your coach do that kind of stuff for you, or do you take any look at it?
You know what? My coaches always tell me just you know watch it once and then forget about it because you don't want to just be thinking about him day and night, like what he's gonna do instead of worrying about what I'm gonna do. So I'm focused on me, really.
Yeah. How do you think? I mean, you say you got into wrestling, but obviously MMA. Where do you think that your expertise lies in this fight? Where do you think you have the beneficial factor?
When you watch my fights, you think I'd like want to stand up, but if it goes to the ground, I really don't mind. Like I like scrambling from the bottom. I like wrestling. I like taking them down. I just haven't really been able to show it yet. But
So
I like striking. I like
yeah.
striking. But
So
I like punching up, throwing knees, elbows. I like going for the takedown. I like being dominant on top. So
I mean,
if
and
it
you
comes to
have
that, it
all
comes to
the
that.
and you have all the background in it between boxing, kickboxing, and MMA. I mean, you have to be
Right.
comfortable everywhere.
Yeah. And I try to be too.
Yeah. So how do you approach this fight? I mean, knowing that the momentum it's swaying in your favor, does that play any part in your mind at all?
Um, no, not really. It's cool knowing that people think I'm gonna win, but what's gonna happen when people think I'm gonna lose, and it's gonna get in my head. You know what I mean? I can't really
Mm,
focus on that stuff.
yeah. So, how do you think the fight's going to play out? I mean, again, you haven't taken too much of a look into him yet, and you're coached to all that stuff. But how do you, in a perfect world, would you want this fight to play out?
I think he might try to stand up with me for a little bit, and then you know, I feel like I'm gonna catch him with some stuff, and he's probably gonna end up trying to shoot on me, and I think he's gonna tire himself out, try to take me down.
Hmm. Has your training
Because
varied for your pro debut at all, or is it just business as usual?
what was that?
Has your training varied at all for your pro debut, or is it just business as usual? Another day in the gym.
It's just another day in the gym, really. I try to work like my whole game every day. I put in a lot of time in the gym. I put, you know, close to 4 hours a day in the gym. So I really try to focus in and zero in on everything.
Hmm. So, outside of those 4 hours, what do you do in your daily grind day to day?
I'm a door dasher, so I just door dash.
And think
but
about fighting.
yeah.
So, if you had to be a bold prediction, man, I mean, are you one of those guys that want to call your shot, your Babe Ruth, the first round knockout? I mean, I know you say you see how the fight's going to play out, but do you
hmm
think you're going to finish him, and how?
Yeah, I think I will.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident in that. Yeah, but
When and how?
um, I think it's gonna be in the second or third,
Hmm.
and probably TKO just from the
Gonna
volume.
Not looking for the submission at all. Trying to get that dominant. You're trying to keep the TKO streak rolling, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I want to keep that rolling, man. The submission be cool too, though.
Um, so before I let you go, man, any final words as far as sponsors, social media? How can the fans keep up with you? Obviously, the momentum's swinging in your way, man, and obviously people are going to have their eyes on you after this pro fight. How can fans keep up with you?
They could catch me on Instagram. My Instagram is Miller underscore Ty 029, and yeah, you can keep up with me on there. Facebook too, just Ty Miller.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
Ty, man, I appreciate you taking the time. Best of luck, man, and I can't wait to call your first pro debut. It's going to be a thriller, man. I can't wait.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
There he goes. Ty Thriller Miller set for his pro debut against Justin Dorsey. It's going down February 12th at Fight World 21 in historic Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Make sure you get your tickets now. For Ty Miller, I'm Adam Christ. Make sure you keep it locked to MyMMANews.com for all your fight news needs.